My name is Samantha, and I am coming to you on behalf of E.P.I.C Tri-County CT. E.P.I.C is empowering people, inspiring community. And I am so happy to be back with you today. Sorry we missed yesterday. I have to say that my entire day was not in a real good alignment without my E.P.I.C interview. I missed each and every one of you. So please today let us know that you can see and hear me by sending a comment in the feed. The co-creator and co-publisher of E.P.I.C, Lisa, is in Cheshire. She is working the feed, so please let Lisa and I know that you are here, you can see me, and you can hear me. I'll be bringing on a guest in a few minutes. Her name is Becky Thompson. I'm so thrilled. I'm clapping my hands. I'm so thrilled that she's here with us today. But again, I want to introduce myself. My name is Samantha, and I'm coming to you on behalf of E.P.I.C Tri-County CT. Let us know in the feed how you're doing today. Scale of 1 to 10. Where are you? Are you a 2? Are you a 4? Are you a 10? And then my hope is that you are closer to a 10 when we are done with this interview with Becky. And we have a lot of great gifts to share with you. Also, as we say every day during this time of physical distancing, please know you are not alone. You are not alone. We are here for you. If you are in need of prayer, if you are in need of just somebody to talk to, please reach out to Lisa or myself. Our contact information is all over our Facebook page, our website, www.epictricountyct.com. So reach out. We're here for you, okay? We are never alone. We have each other. And our motto is all ships rise together. So thank you for being here. And we have a little technical issue going on, but we're affirming that our angels and guides are here as I bring on Becky Thompson from Dandelion and Thyme at the Whiting Mills, and also Dandelion and Sage in Simsbury. So give me one moment. And we're going to bring on Becky. Hi, Becky. We can see you. Can
Awesome.
You still can't see me, huh?
Not
okay.
yet. No, all good.
You look beautiful. Thank you for being here with us today. I bet our community appreciates it. And I can remember, Becky, meeting you a few years ago, and I don't remember if it was through Karen, your beautiful sister, or not. Okay. But one thing that I do remember is the gentleness of your energy, and how you helped me negate the fear of yoga because of some underlying issues I had. I tended to hurt myself after every yoga session. And you taught me that that is not necessary. And so I appreciate that. And I wanted to thank you for that. So as a licensed massage therapist and also a certified yoga teacher, can you tell us a little bit about Becky, the person, who you are and what you bring to our conscious community?
Sure. So I love that lead in, Samantha, as far as kind of a gentle nature. I really try to present that in my work when I'm working as a massage therapist or a yoga teacher. I always want people to be able to feel comfortable, especially in a yoga class, to be able to come up and have things going on with them and be able to come up with a plan of how you can work with what's going on in the body. I want that sense of just being gentle and kind on the body. So it was a nice lead in that you brought that in. I feel like in my work as an LMT, I bring that in as well. It's just a very, very nurturing, relaxing session. I love just creating an environment that people kind of walk in the door and are kind of like, wow, I haven't even put my hands on you for massage therapy yet, but you've automatically kind of relax once you walk in the door.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my goal. I think it's just how I was inborn nature to kind of have that gentle kindness nature as well. I know for me, I can tend to be prone toward anxiety a little bit. And so growing up, there were a lot of situations where I was uncomfortable or afraid to ask questions or thought I couldn't do something because I couldn't do it exactly the way someone else did it. So I really try to create a nurturing environment so someone like you came up to me and asked questions about things that were going on for you, and that you could feel comfortable and know that there's many styles of yoga, that you may have seen one that doesn't fit your body or doesn't call to you, but there's many styles of adding holistic wellness within the yoga piece, or adding, massage therapy in as well. The way I
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
the, the way I got into it for me, as far as yoga and massage therapy, I don't know if it was what you call a midlife crisis. It was, my kids were getting older. My role as a mother wasn't necessarily done, but I was kind of in a place where, like, what do I do now? And I was starting to see personally, a lot of aches and pains in my body. Like, joints were hurting. It just didn't feel like I thought I should feel at that particular time in my life. And I did have a loss. My brother had passed around that time too, so I was going through a lot. And someone actually bought me a gift certificate to massage therapy, and I never had a massage prior to that. And I got on the table, and the therapist that worked with me, she was awesome, nurturing, very welcoming. And I remember being just floored how amazing the session was, how my stress just dropped, how my aches and pains began to drop. And I remember looking down at her feet, and she was working barefoot. And because there was so much going on in my life at that time, I felt very ungrounded. And I didn't really have a yoga practice for myself at that time. And I saw her bare feet, and I instantly was like, oh my God, like, I felt earth and sunshine and rootedness and grounding immediately kind of rushed through my body too. And it may sound really funny that, like, I looked down at somebody's bare feet and thought, oh my gosh, like, this is what I want to do with my life. But that's basically kind of what happened. I had this instant sense of, this felt totally right to go in that direction and kind of go to school for that. So that's kind of what led my journey into going into massage therapy. And it just kind of spiraled from there. The more you kind of learn about holistic health and wellness, you realize that there's so many pieces to it, the mind, the body, the spirit, that it just made sense to kind of incorporate the whole realm of yoga in there as well.
Wow.
Um,
Sounds like
yeah.
you had cosmic clarification when you looked at her feet, you know?
I feel like it, and I think when I think or say that out loud, sometimes I think it just sounds so funny, but it was serious. I'm sure there were other things in my head at that time, but I seriously just looked down at her feet and just felt like, wow, like ease and comfort and earthy goodness.
Plus, you're speaking with a foot reflexologist, so I get it.
Right, right, yes, exactly.
I
Yep,
get it. I
exactly.
get the importance of the feet and the messages that you can receive through the feet. So, thank you for sharing
Exactly.
that, your
You're
story.
welcome.
Um,
You're welcome.
I had mentioned, and you had mentioned, you have dandelion and thyme at Whiting Mills in
Yep,
Winsted, and
yep.
dandelion and sage wellness in Simsbury. So, how can you explain the difference if I was to call you and want to come to Winsted? What services do you provide there? And of course, this is all pre-COVID. The massage. We understand that right now that's not happening, but we want to let people know how to find you when we do go back
Yeah,
to our
yeah.
lives. So, can you tell us a little bit between the thyme and the sage?
Sure. So honestly, there's not really a big difference. I do all the modalities that I do in both locations.
Oh, okay.
It's simply just kind of a location thing,
Okay.
because I had the yoga studio, Blue Dandelion Yoga, in Winsted prior. I knew a lot of people out that way already, and the opportunity came up in the beautiful Whiting Mills. It was
Ah,
a building that I looked at many years ago when I first started massage therapy school. And I was thinking about working. I just walked into that building. I was like, oh my gosh, I could so have a studio here. And it kind of stayed a dream of mine to
yeah.
do that, but had kind of forgotten about it. And then it came around that kind of divine intervention. A friend reached out to me and said there were some spaces available, and would I be interested in a space there? And I just jumped on it, because it's such a beautiful space, and I was already from that community, so it
Yeah.
was very local and homey to me to be there.
Yeah.
So there really is no difference between the two spaces. I was in Simsbury first, doing the same type of work. So
Okay.
it's more of a location thing, that if you're
Okay.
closer to Simsbury, you might go to the Simsbury space. And then if you're closer to Winsted, Torrington area, you would, gravitate probably more toward Dandelion and Thyme. And they each have a little bit different feel to it. Dandelion and Thyme has a little bit more of a yoga feel to it. At least that's kind of how I see it. And they're both nurturing spaces.
They're
I can't,
beautiful.
yeah, I
Well,
can,
I can speak for Dandelion and Thyme at the Mills.
yeah,
I've been there a
yeah,
few times, and it's absolutely a
yeah,
sacred, beautiful space. The entire building, but what you've done with your room is just unbelievable. It is absolutely gorgeous. People, when you get a chance, call Becky, and just to look at the space. Like you said, as soon as you walk in, you could feel that gentle vibration, that love that comes through your decor, and just the vibe. I love it. I love it. And I love the mill myself. I do.
yeah,
The
yeah.
overall feeling.
Yeah, it's just a great community of people. Even during this time of COVID, it's still a family and community. We're all reaching out to each other, just checking that we're all okay. And
Yes.
so it's, even beyond the walls of the space, it's just a really nurturing community. I know every time, both spaces, but every time I walk, either by my space in Winsted or walk to the door, I'm immediately like ready for work. I get this just,
Yeah.
grounding. I go right back to like looking down at that massage therapist's feet. That's exactly how I feel
Yeah.
kind of when I enter the spaces.
I was going to
So
say your shoes come off. No, literally.
most of the time, yeah, most of the time they
Yeah.
do.
And we featured another beautiful practitioner and artist from the Whiting Mills this past time. Carrie Launcher is our epic artisan.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
yes, yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So
Car-
there's
car-
a lot
yeah,
of things going on at the mill. A lot of
yeah.
things.
She's right next to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Car, yeah, yeah,
Kari,
yeah.
yeah. So
She's my
that's
name. Yeah.
check out the article. It's Epic Artisan in this issue of Epic Tri County. We featured
Okay.
Carrie, so there's some nice pictures of her and stuff. But
Oh, nice.
so
I,
as we're navigating through this time, I know you're
yeah,
doing some virtual yoga. Can you tell us a
yeah,
little bit about how people can find what you're offering virtually?
sure. So, right now, because I used to have the yoga studio in Winsted, Blue Dandelion Yoga, it's under Blue Dandelion Yoga.
Okay.
Um, right now, I'm basically doing Facebook Lives, so you can catch them at the Facebook Live on the Blue Dandelion Yoga page, or you can go back and watch them. There are a couple things I'm doing on Zoom, but for class-wise, but not as much. You'll mainly find the classes on the Facebook Live page. I'm working on a steady schedule. For a while, there were 3 classes going. There was a meditation on Monday night, which usually is about 7:30. There was a yin yoga class on Wednesdays and a gentle restorative on Sunday. The schedule does bounce around a little bit and change a little bit. They are free classes, and the yoga classes themselves are about 30 minutes. And then the meditation is about 10 to 15 minutes. I've been focusing the meditation around evening time, and it's meant to soothe anxiety, and a lot of them have been for nurturing a good night's sleep as
Yeah.
well. So those all can be found on the Blue Dandelion Yoga Facebook page. And that is actually, it's been a joy to teach. At first, it was a little bit different getting used to the virtual, because I was so used to,
Yeah.
face-to-face setting in yoga. But it's been working. It felt right to bring that back during this time. I just felt like something was calling me to do that, and to just be able to offer, nourishing yoga and have it so that you could either, watch it live or just come on later and, or repeat it. I'm like, I need this meditation. I'm feeling like I'm not going to sleep well tonight. And then you can kind of go to the Facebook page and watch it and have the comfort of your own home. You could be lying in your bed if it's a sleep meditation, things like that, just to create comfort.
Thank you.
So
Thank you for bringing that through for everybody. I think it's so important. And we had discussed a little bit earlier about, the new technologies and how we're embracing it and how it is helping to bridge that gap of isolation that some people may be feeling. Also, like for me, without a lot of yoga experience, I'm more prone to participate in the yoga through a virtual in my own home.
right.
And so that's a blessing. That's a blessing that you're bringing. Thank you. So everybody go check out Becky's schedule. And like she said, it's fluctuating and changing, but always gentle and nourishing through the dandelion and sage or thyme. Which one? Thyme.
So the yoga classes would be through Blue Dandelion
Blue,
Yoga. I know
blue dandelion.
it
Okay.
gets a little confusing I didn't want to incorporate the yoga into the massage therapy pieces that were already up there. So I left it with the Blue Dandelion Yoga page
Okay.
on Facebook.
And we'll make sure that we get that out there also. So as the current situation started to unfold and we were, called inward, how do you take care of Becky? What is some of your favorite self-care tips that you could share with our community that may help them also?
So in my journey into massage therapy and yoga, I discovered Ayurveda, which is the sister science of yoga. It approaches wellness from kind of body, mind, and spirit, that there's, not just chunks and pieces of us that we can treat. You can treat certain pieces, but there's a whole connection to that we can provide wellness for. So I've done a bunch of studying in Ayurveda, mainly through the body work piece, because that's what really intrigued me. And then you kind of expand out to more the dietary pieces and other ways to kind of bring Ayurveda in. So during this time, and I have to say, in the very beginning of all this, I was inundated, as we all were, with a lot of news coming our way that, looked very bleak, and you're like, I've never been through this before, and my body was feeling very ungrounded. And it really took a lot of, I don't know if the right word is determination. Like I didn't want to do a self-practice. It was very hard for me to even do a self-practice. Like I was so distracted. We couldn't work as massage therapists anymore, and I totally understand that and agreed with that on my end. So there was a lot of ungrounding, but it was still hard to wrap my mind around self-care. So it took just basically a lot of repetition, just basically doing it for me.
Yeah.
I do my own personal meditation, and I usually bring in, again, an evening meditation just for sleep for me. I usually do just a very positive mantra, and it might just be I'm okay, or I'm calm, or I'm breathing. It doesn't have to be anything complex. And I allow myself, in the beginning, I allowed myself just a couple minutes. And if I sat there for the couple minutes, I sat there. If I didn't and moved, I gave myself permission to do that as well. But one of my all-time favorite self-care, because I'm a massage therapist as well, I love body work or massage therapy, and we can't receive it right now. So I like to do my own self-care body work. And in Ayurveda, they have what they call either Abhyanga massage or Garshana massage. And if you're not familiar with those, there's a couple different ways you can do Abhyanga. What it does is moves lymph, it moves energy, it moves the blood through the body, but it's very light touch. I want to compare it kind of energetic wise to the body, or energetic or moving energy through the body.
Mm-hmm.
So my self-care with that, I have a couple things. I brought them in today. So
Yay.
you can use, I know, right? So I have silk gloves. These are called Garshana gloves, Garshana. And you don't need silk gloves, but if you have them, they're a great, almost kind of an exfoliation piece, but this really helps the lymphatic fluid move. So if I was going to do Garshana on me, this is usually a morning and a nighttime practice for me. So I'd put the Garshana gloves on. And the main way to kind of work either Abhyanga or Garshana massage is think about the long bones of the body. You would kind of go up and down. You're always, in general, kind of working toward the heart.
Okay.
Long bone, you would go up and down. And I kind of make sure I get both sides. It's just gentle work. And it's very nurturing and loving, kind work. You're not trying to rub really hard. It's just a soft touch to kind of get energy moving. And then there'd be a circular motion around the joints of the body. So my elbow, I do soft and circular. Same thing, inner elbow. And then up and down the long bone, and then circular. So any joint you get to, you're just trying to move the energy kind of circular through the joint and up toward the heart space from that. So basically, I kind of do my whole body. If I'm having belly stuff going on, I can kind of run circular into my belly into the way of digestion.
Yeah.
A lot of times people think like deep work is effective in massage therapy, and I'm not saying it isn't, because there is great work that can be done that you can get in really deep and you can do some pressure points on the body. But especially during this time when you may be feeling a lot of anxiety with COVID or just unsure about things happening, we get a lot in our mind or a lot of thinking, or just our nervous system is kind of set off or at high energy. So just having a soft, nurturing touch allows for that nervous energy to kind of calm down, and then you're getting the beneficial pieces of the Abhyanga or the Garshana. That's usually followed up with a little bit of oil that you can use on your body. And then what that allows is just the oil to kind of seep in deep into the bone structure, deep into the muscle, into the lymphatic, into the ligaments, the tendons. There's a whole science to it. There's Ayurveda oils that you can use as well. I won't get too much into detail with it, but there's oils for nervine to kind of calm the nervous system, and just a whole array. I mean, I could talk for days on Ayurveda and the various doshas, but that's kind of where I'm at with self-care. Is I do a soft meditation, and then I usually follow that up. I'll do that once in the morning and then once in the evening. And I may just work on a part of the body. If I'm just feeling it on my shoulders, maybe that's where I work on. So I don't have to sit there for hours and hours. It might just be one part of the body that I'm working on.
Just that little bit that you showed us of the Garshana, myself just gently, stroking upward and then downward on the long bone. And it makes so much sense going circles around the joints. I felt an opening on that side of my body. I call them angel bumps, but I felt the energy open. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I had mentioned.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
In Ayurveda, they have what they call Marma Points, which are kind of energy lines of the body. So that's kind of what we're following when we're moving along the body. And what Marmas are, they really are energetic points. They're parts in the body where a lot of nerve tissue runs through, where ligament, muscle, tendon, fascia, it's kind of a highway intersection of the body. And that's kind of where you're, not the only places you're doing circular motion, but you're stroking along those marmas of the body, the energetic pieces of the body. And that's especially helpful when you do the oil, because the thought philosophy is the oils are seeping right into those Marma points where all those intersections of the material, the soft tissues of the body are, to promote deep healing within too.
Beautiful. You said that you could speak hours, and that's going to lead me to, we're working on putting together a real in-depth program where we bring people back, where we bring this introductory conversation back into a deeper conversation and communication. So we'll definitely be calling you back, Miss Becky, to have you join us. And I hope that you accept. Thank you for sharing everything that you did and your gentle nature. So appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, of course. And as far as the meditations with Becky, check it out. I remember the class that was being taught up at Unity, and you would take us through just Unbelievable. You're just such a gentle soul. Just such a gentle soul that it's so nurturing and comforting. And I do appreciate you and everything you do. With that
Yeah.
being said, I generally ask, my guides and teachers for an impromptu question. And I think that what I heard while you were talking is, if you were to be a yoga pose, what would
Hmm.
it be? What yoga pose would Becky be?
That's hard to kind of pinpoint one, but I'm going to go with what instantly came into my head. I almost rejected it when it came into my head, but I love, I figure it's there for a reason. I love Balasana or child's pose,
Okay.
which is, are you familiar with what that looks like? You're very low to the ground. You're almost kind of in
Yes.
an egg shape,
Yes.
with arms overstretched overhead. It's just, I can't say of all in every season that we're in that that's what I see myself in, but it's very, so we're in the season of Kapha dosha right now in Ayurveda. And so Balasana or child pose always reminds me of just a small, kind of a small seed
Yeah.
that would be planting in the springtime. And it needs time to settle. It needs time to be nourished. It needs time to be watered, but then it kind of reaches toward the light and grows. And I feel like specifically just during this time that I'm not necessarily laying in wait, but I'm waiting. I'm being nurtured and watered per se, and then growing my roots and then reaching out toward the light of spring or the light of directions of my life. So as of this season, I'd have to say Balasana or child's pose is my thing. Is my pose.
Thank
Who I
you.
see myself as. You're
Oh my
welcome.
goodness. Thank you. Thank you. I think that you just described where I've been feeling myself. So thank you for bringing that forward and bringing yourself, your whole self, to our community, Becky. I can't thank you enough. But we do have to wrap it up. I do want to thank everybody who joined us today or who is going to be watching this on YouTube or Facebook later. We close each and every segment with, a whole lot of love, a whole lot of positive energy, and, stay healthy. Everybody stay healthy. If you have to go out, do it in a conscious way. If not, stay home. Stay tuned. We'll see you tomorrow. And peace out, Epic Scouts. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Bye.
having me.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.